This is RIFF Radio, a presentation of RIFF Magazine Online, your source for music news, interviews, and concert reviews from the Bay Area and beyond. Find more at riffmagazine.com. I am Mike DeWald. On this episode, we travel across the pond to speak with UK singer-songwriter Foxes. Her new album is The Kick. Now, we've heard of many artists recording remotely during the pandemic, but Foxes took that to a whole new level in creating her new record. Thrilled to welcome Foxes. Thanks again for taking some time to join us.
No, that's fine. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I mean, it's got to be exciting for you right now. You have a new album on the way in the new year, have a new tour coming up. Does it all kind of finally feel real at this point that a lot of these things are happening and finally, kind of on the calendar on the way here?
Yeah, I mean, you set so many dates in your mind for, when you're going to release things, when you're going to tour. And then the world went, it just shut down, didn't it? And I think it was interesting because I had so many kind of, I had so much planned just before as well. So for everything to just suddenly stop, I felt like I felt like everything had been frozen in time. But I think everyone felt like that. But yeah, now it feels, so exciting. I'm actually releasing music that is music I've written really recently. So it's, lockdown, essentially. It's kind of music I've written in the isolation of my own mind in my house. So it's very real. Yeah.
The process for this was really interesting. I mean, at sometimes it was as simple as just recording on your iPhone. I mean, what did that process look like for you, kind of day to day? I mean, how different was that from other albums you've done?
Completely different. I had to learn a completely different way of being creative, which was like, in a way, I was kind of like, at first I was really rebellious about it. I was like, no, this is not how music should be made. Music should be made, with other human beings, and it should be like with other, energies and whatever, not on your own with your iPhone, feeling mental slightly. But yeah, the process really was something that just kept my imagination going, I think, and it kept my mind kind of like at peace at times. But yeah, the process was literally as simple as me with an iPhone going, honestly, just like, it was just so funny. Like I just suddenly started doing it. And then luckily I met a really amazing producer, and we would just go back and forth, and it worked like that. It was like very quick in terms of like, we got a connection that was just quite, in a way, like, just, I don't know, we're very lucky actually to just be able to work so easily together. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Was it more difficult to get, when you're in a studio setting and you have those, whether producers or engineers or kind of people in the room to other musicians bounce ideas off of, could you still kind of recreate that? Did you have to learn that again? Kind of creating that communication chain, I guess, as you were either writing or, doing a vocal take or something like that. Was that hard at first?
Yeah, that was what was really interesting because for me, it was a really good skill to learn in terms of not relying on anyone else but myself to, one, trust what I'm writing about, trust the melodies, and kind of like bounce off myself, which was really challenging. Like at times I was just like, is this really crap? Is this really good? I don't know. But there was just a lot of like yeah, there was a lot of like inner landscape learning. I was kind of figuring out a lot. And it's a skill I think now I can take, you know, into our, you know, kind of, you know, being able to, you know, be, you know, in with other humans now. It's a skill. I think I won't rely as much on the opinion of others. I think I'll have a bit more confidence. But yeah, so I think that also it's what makes this record like very lyrically independent, because you know there wasn't anyone else to be like, is this good? But yeah, it was great. It was mad. It was really funny. Like looking back, it was really funny. I was like, at some points, like, because obviously the music was quite dancey, is quite dancey, and I just remember like dancing around my kitchen, and like if it made me want to dance in a pandemic, I'd be like, okay, yeah, this is a good song, you know, like.
Well, that was actually going to be my next question. To write music like that and an album like this, you know, when you're creating it, it's in a time of, you know, such, you know, isolation and being apart from everyone. You know, how did you have to kind of set your mind to write, you know, whether you're writing a song or, you know, if you know it's going to be kind of an upbeat, fun song, you know, how did you kind of train your mind to get in that space to create that?
It was actually because I had really missed going on, you know, like wild, adventurous nights with friends, you know, dancing and feeling free. And I had to use my imagination a lot. And I remember thinking, I'm making music that, like, when we can dance again, I want to dance to. So it was quite like exhilarating in that way. I think I was sort of like letting out an inner dance that like, or an inner energy that I just knew needed to come out. So it was really easy. I was like, wow, I've never been able to sort of write about, you know, wanting to dance more in my life. So just,
Now,
there's a lot. The album has a lot going on. So yeah.
now I feel like everyone, you know, at the height of the pandemic, especially, I feel like everyone sort of, you know, picked up extra, you know, hobbies and skills that were totally outside of what they normally would do. I mean, did you anything sort of outside of music that you picked up that you're like, I'm going to do this now to kind of, you know, get through some of those days and weeks?
Yeah, quite a few things. I don't know how this happened, but a friend of mine is like a boxer, like trained, used to be like a champion boxer, and I wanted to kind of like stay fit and like kind of do some form of exercise. Yeah, and he was like, let's do some, you know, Zoom boxing. I don't know how that is, but so that was definitely a hobby that I took on, which was quite a weird one. So, and I love that as well, because it was really amazing to like take that like energy, you know, that again, the same thing, like that kind of feeling of, you know, needing to use your body or your, yeah, somehow. So I did that. What else did I do? I did a lot of reading, which sounds like I'm a grandma. I probably am a bit. And then yeah, I think I watched, like, I tried to watch all of my bucket list films. I'm a big film person, so I did a lot of that. And what else did I do? Think now. Like, I wish I'd done something like, you know, like people like made like started knitting.
Right,
Like,
right.
I wish I did something like that, and I didn't.
the really long-term projects.
Yeah, like something you could like actually, you know, make some money from after the pandemic. Yeah, apart from making a record, that was probably, yeah.
So now you also have your first run of shows coming up here in the new year as well, starting in the UK. Have you started working towards that, kind of putting together what that show's going to look like, or a little too early?
Yeah. Sorry, my next door neighbor's dog is going wild.
No worries.
I have a dog. I have a dog as well, and my mum has to have him whenever I have interviews because it's just crazy. Yeah, back to the question. Yeah, I mean, obviously, because I've not toured in such a long time, it's been, you know, I've been planning, you know, the wildest, you know, shows you could imagine. And also having 3 albums kind of under your belt is quite a mad thing. I was like getting the set list together the other day and I was thinking, oh my God, what do I play? Like, there are so many songs. How do I make this the best show? And then there's like also, you know, old fans that will know me from the first album and then new people that will know me from this one. So, yeah, I think it's just going to be like a, you know, quite a wild, for me anyway. I want to go to a show that just makes me just want to completely, you know, forget all my inhibitions, really like let go and enjoy the music. So I think that's my aim. And yeah, there's lots of planning going on right now. So yeah, very exciting.
Is it? Are you able to? I mean, I'm sure you'll be, you know, bringing it to other countries in America eventually. Is that something that's still sort of difficult to plan for right now? Because I know it for a time it was so hard to, you know, you didn't know any particular country what the rules were going to be, what travel, you know, restrictions were going to be. Is it? Is it a little easier to plan ahead? Like, you know, I'd love to play shows here, here, and here, and actually be able to have that come together now.
Um, yeah, it's tricky because not really, because I just feel like we're like, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we're very much like always kind of, there's never really like a straightforward plan. I think we're always like everything's quite touch and go, which is very frustrating for artists that want to tour. And you know, if it was up to me, I would be, you know, taking this tour everywhere. But yeah, I mean, I would. There's so many places I would love to play. You know, America, Japan. You know, it's just like places that I really feel that really kind of like are asking, you know, and have been there from the beginning as well. That I would love to be able to, you know, take a show there and really, you know, meet these people that have supported me from the beginning. So it's tricky, but let's be positive.
Right, exactly. Now, going back a little bit, I mean, to the beginning a little bit for you. Uh, Music wasn't almost wasn't your initial path as you were kind of getting started. I know you started as kind of as a songwriter, but you almost didn't go in that direction. I think I think your sister kind of helped you turn you towards music more. How did you make that choice?
Um, well, I think looking back now, I think I'm a bit more of an introvert than I realized. And I don't think I ever really, you know, it comes to like, you know, self-esteem's like, you know, lots of people suffer with like self-esteem. And luckily I had a sister that was like really supportive and, you know, really kind of saw that I really wanted to, you know, make me would have fulfilled me. I think it was I think I was just a bit afraid. And then I moved to London and my confidence grew, and I guess it all starting music, putting it on SoundCloud. And I guess doing open mic nights around London and really just growing my confidence, because I knew I loved singing and songwriting, but I didn't necessarily feel I was like good enough. So I mean, something was obviously, some people believed in me because people are still listening. So it wasn't always the plan. No.
Now, heading into the new year here, you have the new album, the tour obviously coming up. Now, is there a part of touring and being on the road that you're most looking forward to, even outside from, like, it could be the most mundane thing? Is there a part of it that you enjoy the most that maybe you even didn't realize you enjoyed until you weren't playing shows? Is there an aspect of touring that you really really miss?
Like of touring, I mean, there's loads. I would say meeting people that have come to the shows, like it's insane, because you don't get to meet the people that listen to your music. And then whenever I do, it's quite funny, because I almost feel like I'm more nervous. I'll sort of be like a bit like, but that, for me, that's just a really important connection that I think touring allows. And it's just like, you can't really, there's nothing I've ever felt that is as magical as being on a stage and looking at people that are enjoying what you're doing, like, the music you're singing, and connecting. It's like, it's just incredibly, I don't know, it's like kind of, it's like magic, really. But I think that's I definitely don't miss the what would I not miss? Like the spitter bands.
Our thanks to Foxes. Be sure to check out the new album, The Kick, and catch her on the road. She'll start in the UK, but I'm sure you'll be able to see her all over very soon. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to find more at riffmagazine.com.